Hello, world. What are we waiting for? It's later than you think it is. Blessed are they that do His commandments. Do you know what do means, world? It means you better do them. That's what it means. Blessed are they that do His commandments. What part of do don't you understand, world? The part of doing? No do, no go. Don't you want to be rescued? Doesn't that interest you at all, being rescued from a dying world? We're not going to be here speaking forever to someone who doesn't want to hear. When we've collected all the ones that will hear, we'll leave. And you'll be left in a dying world. Are you really going to stay in a dying world when God's people will be lifted up to meet Him in the clouds? Are you really going to worship the wrong day, which is a day too late, when the ship comes to get them a day earlier, the Sabbath, Saturday? You're going to miss the boat, the flying one. Do you really want to miss the boat on its way to the new Jerusalem? Do you really want to miss it? When He called Moses to Him, it was, you guessed it, Saturday, the seventh day. Even by your calendars, it's still the seventh day. Whatever calendar it is, it's still the seventh day. God was pretty smart when He designed that day, wasn't He? There's no way for it to be any other day. And it was in the evening, unto the sunrise the next morning. And it was not 2 days, it was just 1 day. 1 day in 7. The seventh. He did everything in sevens. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Got a Jewish question about a Jewish calendar? Look at a Jewish calendar. Type Jewish calendar, and you'll get your answer. It's always been right there before you. God made it plain. All you had to do was care enough to look. There's no mystery about what God does. When He made His commandments, there was no mystery. The mystery began when you started speaking. For you doubt everything. That's why Eve believed the doubter over God. Do you also doubt that the commandments are the most important ones? then God will doubt that he can use you. Do you want God to doubt that he can save you? He's not going to save someone he can't trust and keep his commandments. His 10 commandments, his holy Exodus chapter 20, verses 1 to 26, written before Moses on Mount Sinai commandments. He's not going to trust you if you can't keep them. He's not going to trust someone worshiping other gods. He's not going to trust someone making graven images or molten calves. He's not going to trust someone who taketh his name in vain. He's not going to trust someone who keeps the wrong day holy. He's not going to trust someone who dishonors their parents. So you're going to dishonor God then? He's a real parent. He's not going to trust a killer. He's not going to trust someone who's got an adulterous mind, who looketh upon the woman to lust after her. He's not going to trust a thief. He's not going to trust a police officer who beareth false witness against him to catch them and break his commandment. The 9th one. He's not going to trust someone who covets anything that is thy neighbor's. So if you're breaking any one of these willfully, you might as well break them all. If I were you, I would not do that willfully. Why don't you just go up and slap God in the face and say, I need men's doctrines over God's laws. That's what God's going to think you're doing. Jesus said, if you love me, keep my commandments. It was Jesus, the spiritual rock that followed after Moses, that appeared to Moses as the cloud, as the pillar, as the rock, and the fire by night. That was Jesus. Jesus back in Exodus. Jesus that appeared. Jehovah Jesus that appeared. So it's Jehovah Jesus telling you not to judge in Matthew 7. It's Jehovah Jesus telling you not to kill in Exodus. And it's Jesus telling you now to stop breaking his commandments. Now is it more plain to you, world? Stop breaking the commandments. Stop captivating. He who leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He who killeth by the sword must be killed by the sword. For here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Revelation 13:9. Let he that have an ear hear. He who leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity, and he who liveth by the sword must be killed by the sword. For here is the patience and the faith of the saints. When you're standing before the 12 apostles, judging you, are you going to tell them you don't have time for God's commandments? I wouldn't if I were you. I would learn them quickly.